Good evening, one. Good evening, all. This is me checking if everything is unmuted. And it is. Welcome to Creators the Doughnut Table. I have not been sat in this chair for... I'll check my hypothetical clock. I can't even tell you when. But I'm here. And times are exciting because we've got one gentleman with us today who has been pestering me at many live events to come on board to COTDT. And I'm so glad that he's continued to wave because it's Matt. It's When is Matt? It's Dated Rhyme.
Hiya.
I'm so glad we got that out of the way. So we're going to go through Matt's journey about how he, from OBS to Open Decks, but first, we're going to be going to our Shrek enthusiast, to this, my side here, and Northern Vault Dweller, Atomic Moonchild. Atomic, how are you?
Hi. I'm all right. A stressful day, but we live.
We keep going. Now...
Hi, how are you?
Grand. And if any one of you mentioned my beige walls throughout this stream, it's going off. It's going off. I got a set timer for 7 comments, and it all goes. But I'm ecstatic. Moonbeard, please don't. OBS to Open Decks. I wouldn't say I'm inclined musically to be as talented to want to create music. However, I am a very big music fan, and I listen to an array of genres in order to what my mood is. And most of my mood is quite pants, really. So it's all just low metal music to get me to a point where I can just tolerate driving to work without quitting on the day. But Matt, it has been such a long time coming. I want to say at least over a year.
Yeah. I think from the initial time that we joked about this to kind of like it actually happening, I think I was like poked in September to like now. So it's been a long time coming. But I think that's what it's made it so much more specialer because I've had that time to kind of like sit down and think, man, what do I actually want to talk about? Like,
And here we are. Everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Creators the Doughnut Table. It couldn't be any better because I wanted to be here today and I really want to question Matt on some things that when we're in public and when we go to events, we don't usually like to go into the nitty-gritty stuff because Matt tries to kiss me most of the times. But guys, I'm Ross TSU.
Man, what do you expect?
To most of you who don't know, I'm now bald, which I think a lot of people didn't quite know I went for this kind of look. And I will be your host for this evening to do the topic from OBS to Open Decks. Firstly, Atomic, I want to come to you first. I keep facing the wrong way. Naturally, I'm inclined to go to my left every time. When it comes to music, now again, we're going to go through what Matt does in his 1, spare time, 2, hobby time, and 3, hopefully professional life in the near future. What does music, or at least sound, mean to you through your life?
It's so powerful, like it's music. Especially to me, it's helped me through breakups. It's helped me to release pent-up emotions, express my anger in the gym. Just, if I need to unwind, I put music on and I scream like a cat to it. That is my best way to chill out. Unless Chris rings me on my car phone and interrupts my album. He did that today. I was listening to Bad Omens, like proper, and he rung me, and I'm like, "How dare you!"
I don't think I've ever come across so much anger about interrupting with music, other than Swifties.
Oh.
Okay, well, any Swifties in the chat?
No Swift today.
I want to apologise.
Can you play Pink Pony Club? No.
Matt, sing Pink Pony Club for 5 subs.
How about no?
I could do Boris Johnson singing it.
I can't. It'd be from OBS to Parliament number 11, and it'd be all the Prime Ministers
You
singing
ready?
Pink Pony. Oh, no.
Because I can do it.
Pink Pony Club, West Hollywood.
You know what? I ain't even mad. I'm impressed.
I need a full VOD. We're just going to have constant PMs singing current musical themes. But yes, music very much is a powerful source, and it can engage on a range of emotions. For me, my biggest fear would be throughout life is not having music to drive me to wherever it is I want to go. Music comes into my life. It's such minute parts. Things like, and this is going to sound really weird, when I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I've got music on, passive music, because I listen to music while I sleep, because I snore terribly. A bit of TMI for most of you. But it's those little bits that I know, if music's not playing, I don't know what I'm doing. But this is why I was so excited to do this, because Matt, I've seen you live, I think 3 times, or I've seen you do three sessions. Firstly, I just want to know, because I think a lot of people like to say, I'm a DJ, I do DJing, and they get a basic set of what decks could look like, and they press play on a Spotify playlist, and then walk away from it. DJing to you, music for you, why did you choose this, at least to being something professional for you?
I think just like music goes a long way, goes back for me. Like, you know, like you was both saying, music's been always kind of with me from growing up. Like my dad ran like a working men's club, like, you know, you think Phoenix Nights, and like, you know, there was always music on then, and like he tells me about his era and his love for music. And then when I was growing up in the household, there was always music on, and that was a really special time for me. And then you know, in my kind of like summers, like in high school, I'd go and help out at the local radio station. So yeah, music's always been like a massive part for me, and I think like, yeah, I think anybody can be a DJ, but not everybody can be a DJ.
Now, I think that does sum nicely into streaming in general. Whatever it is you decide to do when you stream, everyone has a mobile phone, everyone has a laptop. You can press go live and do anything that you want to. Could you be successful at it? You could possibly find the niche, but as you said, entry level, anyone could start to be a DJ. What would be, I would say, a prime thing for you when it comes to you creating music? Would you say that the title DJ would be what you would call yourself?
I'd like to say a journey maker.
Ooh.
And that sounds like proper mad, but I really like in my like
Mr.
in my
Slippers will like that one.
Yeah, I really like telling a story with music and just taking you on an adventure. Like I did a DJ set a while back, and I played like, you know, there's kind of this like I'm getting ready to go out kind of song, and then it's I'm in the line at High at Ibiza, and then there's like a Kyle Watson track called The After Hours, which talks about going into an after party and like getting out on a Sunday morning. And then there's one called like Party Girl, and there's like, you know, Play a Paradisa that you throw in like in the middle of that, and like you can tell like a story through like a night with music with just like that. And I think there's that, and it's like, you know, the idea of just taking somebody on a journey and a bit of an adventure. Yeah, I'd say like a journey maker. That sounds like a cool thing. Like,
okay, I'm going to follow up with a journey maker for you, Atomic. Firstly, Atomic, I want you to figure out what your journey maker name would be. I'm going to let you simmer on that while I ask Matt another question. When you said you started music very, very young, I know we all tip into music. I started with radio. Now, it wouldn't be at that time a genre that I'd find comfortable, but I knew what music was. ABBA, and to anyone that's going to shame me for this, I fucking love ABBA. I love ABBA.
Give me a Man After Midnight.
Give me any
Gildy's
man.
going to hate you.
Give me any man at any moment, you know?
My New Year's set. So when I played New Year's last year, a friends kind of get together at midnight. So like you play like Final Countdown into Old Lang Syne into You'll Never Walk Alone, and then you play ABBA's Happy New Year, and then there's a Gin and Sonic remix of Gimme Gimme a Man After Midnight, and like yeah, that was kind of like my journey, like, and I go back to what I'm normally playing, but like yeah, for like, you know, that like kind of 15 minutes is just like straight bangers, like.
That is class.
I love that. I really, I want to be there.
Yeah.
Whenever you are next, if I don't hear an ABBA collab in any facet, we can no longer talk beyond this point. Professionally, we're done. Atomic, your journey maker name. Do you have one to hand?
Go on, Cosmic Wavelength.
Ooh! Oh, Cosmic Wavelength.
What genre of music would it be? Like, you know, or would it just be anything?
Oh, I love a bit of like heavy metal, but it's like a bit trap dubstep. So it'd probably be that type of music.
Love that.
This is... I love the words cosmic. For me, my favourite theme, and this is going off music for a little bit, I love the void. And I don't know what it is about the void. Your purples, your ceramic whites, those little star sprinkles. I just love the idea and concept design of cosmic. But while you two take a breather, chat, if there's anything that you'd like to ask either Atomic, Matt, or myself, don't know why you want to ask me anything, please feel free to throw it in the chat. If we don't get to it immediately, I am writing notes to the side and we will get to you. Lady, the one time she gets to enjoy someone who she actually wants to watch, and now she's going to bloody bed.
Yeah.
Put the baby in the kitchen. I don't know what you would do with children. That's probably where I put it. I do not like ABBA. Guildfly, no. Atomic specifically said before we went on live, mention ABBA, Guildfly will donate 10 subs.
Yeah.
I think we all heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Oh. Abacalaba. Oh, I can't believe I said that out loud. That was like a D's nuts joke. Let's talk dreams. Now, we all have dreams. My dream would be to win £1 million and then leave Earth. I don't know where I would go, but I would leave Earth. Your dream spot, you've definitely thought of it, but I know there's going to be one. I need you to give me 3. Now, 3 spots where you would love to go and your one dream headlining position. Where would those be?
Oh, I've always said by the age of 30 I want to play Ibiza. That is my goal. I think of the European. Ibiza
Any
is
section of
kind
Ibiza
like-
or a particular event in Ibiza?
I want to say like high, Cafe Mambo. I think would be quite special. Doing a sunset set at Cafe Mambo has always been like the dream. Like I think that's like a really, really special place. But I'm look. If somebody says you want to play an Ibiza next week, I'm gonna be like yes, I will do. Just allow it. In kind of like dream kind of places to play, Ibiza's certainly up there. I think TwitchCon would be cool. Dan, if you're listening.
Hint, applications
Hint,
in, come on.
I've done it. I've submitted it. Mine's in. Just like open it. Like Glastonbury. I was always lined up to play that last year, and that fell through. But I would have loved to have done that. And then I don't know, for like a third one. I think Tomorrowland. I think Tomorrowland would be cool. I think it's always been kind of something that I grew up kind of watching on YouTube and like watching all the kind of sets and the kind of the storyline that goes with Tomorrowland. I think that's really, really cool. But as a bonus one, just because beats are in 4s. I'd say Boomtown because I've always loved the idea.
Boomtown. I was gonna say Boomtown when you said Tomorrowland.
I
I was like,
love
Boomtown
the
is
lore
up there
and
as
the
well.
story and the whole interactivity of it. Like you've got the
Isn't it
Boomtown Job Centre
good?
and all that
I
stuff.
wanna
like,
go.
Yeah, exactly. That'd
It looks
that'd be sick.
amazing.
Like,
They have a whole theme to Boomtown. Every year they have a different theme, and like they have different sections that are all like connected to that theme, and you go into the different sections. For anyone who doesn't know what Boomtown is, but yeah,
It's like going playing a video
really-
game for the weekend, like an open world game, and you'll have quest makers and quest givers, and people will be
Yes.
like, go to the pirates and go and speak to them, or go to like the eccentrics and go and speak to them, and stuff like that. And it'd be like, send you on a side
and
quest.
it's a festival.
And you could just lose a weekend just doing quests, and it'd be great.
So I know he's in the chat. So, Mr. Slippers, I don't know whether you can budget a Boomtown expedition for Stream Seed, but we can certainly make it happen. We've been to other events similar to.
I'll be there.
Listen, we've got people signing up already. Whew. So
Take me with you. I will represent.
time well wasted.
Always
Welcome on
wanted to
in.
do Boomtown.
Went to Boomtown for the first time last year and already have this year's ticket. The story is so much fun. Trading and side quests are amazing.
Oh gosh,
That's why I want to go and
I'm
do
so
it. I just wanna go and do
jealous.
side quests. Like,
For you, Time, what was your favourite side quest? And following up with you then, Atomic, I was going to ask if there was anything in particular DJ-eccentric that you would say you would go to as an event. So for Boomtown, I've heard of Boomtown only because I'm a big fan of Deadmau5. Now, that might be like a sort of cop-out person who you'd follow. But I'm a really big fan of repetitive house music because I'm a boring and repetitive man. Would you have a good list of individuals? I would say name 5, but I wouldn't put you on the spot. Who would you want to see at Boomtown? At least people who are, I would say, relevant to that space. Like you wouldn't bring someone metal to Boomtown, would you?
I'm a bit like controversial, so some of the artists I love they do metal music and they do go places and play it like Tomorrowland, Boomtown, and stuff like that. So it's like Doughnut, Little Big,
Oh, I'd love Little Big.
probably Ash Nico. That would be a good one to see. God, let me think. I'm there just like going through all like my dubstep and like trap type artists that I know. Oliver Tree, I think he'd be good to see.
Out of those you just suggested, one has to headline. Who is that?
Oh, Doughnut.
Yeah.
They were incredible at Download. Honestly, I'd see them over and over again. I think they were amazing. Little Big, I'd love to see, but they have disbanded, and there's like just the 2 of them left now. So if they got back the old members, I'd love to see them headline.
The amount of times I listened to Skibbity, I was almost afraid. God, what was it? Was it 2022? I was afraid to show my Spotify Wrapped because Skibbity was on there. way too much for a grown adult to be listening to. And I would say I had nieces and nephews and all that boring stuff, but I didn't. It was just me. I am a sad man. Time well wasted. Getting sent to get a vaccine, getting lost in a rave in a fake greenhouse, and swapping fake sharks' teeth to skip a huge queue for the vaccine. What on? You didn't go to a rave, brother. You.
You went on
That
an
is
adventure.
brilliant. That is actually brilliant, though. That is like that just keeps it so fascinating. You can
Yeah.
do all sorts of stuff.
And you think events
Side note
should
on
be
Little
done.
Big, they actually have like a heavier song called Dead Unicorn. So if you like heavy music, check it out.
I know what I'm doing after this stream. I'm skipping work tomorrow, just getting into a Little Big binge and just eating Pringles and drinking Dr. Pepper. Stop it, Atomic.
We
I
did
can't.
have a we did have a question from Mr. Slippers. If you'd like me to read it
Please,
out.
yeah.
If somebody was going to start streaming music, what differences would they need to consider versus a typical gaming live stream? And I think that's aimed at Matt because obviously it's your expertise. If you would like to elaborate
Yeah.
on that.
I think if you're used to just chatting streams and you're comfortable with that, it's the same thing. You have a webcam, you have DJ decks, like mine are here.
Beautiful bad boys, them.
They are an expensive investment, and they come from a really weird story. But I'll tell you about that story in a bit. It was a weird story. Yeah, just good audio. I think is like the most important thing, because if you've got like really scratchy audio coming out of that, nobody's going to want to listen to it. So yeah, good audio, good video. I think yeah, that's it. You can play whatever kind of music you want. I mean, the Twitch kind of creator like music kind of stuff, like the music licensing stuff, it's getting better. I can say that. Like, we haven't got quite all of UMG yet, but we're slowly getting all the weird little pockets. So we got Virgin Music recently, and the guys that are behind Green Day, we've got that record label. So like, it's getting better. I think I only really get an angry emo when I play Rihanna, but I mean that's understandable. So like,
Less Rihanna,
So
more
they'd
ABBA.
need the DJ. Oh yeah, you need the ABBA.
you need a DJ program to get away with it. But I mean, Twitch is so kind of chill with it that like, people do it anyway and they don't get banned. So like,
So is
Oh
there...
yeah, I've seen loads of people do it without the DJ, and I just wonder
Yeah.
how. But
I think they
not
just
quite
take the
yet,
strikes, don't they? And I think the only
Yeah.
real repercussion you get is you just get your VOD removed or muted.
muted, yeah. And until Twitch does like a little bit more than that, than like a slap on the wrist, like.
So is
You're gonna see
there, for me, and this is my naivety now because I'm not really in the Twitch sphere as much as I'd like to be, you've got plenty of guilds that have opened up to expand Twitch's experiences outside of, Twitch's main offices. Is there a music/DJ guild?
There's two. So there is the Twitch Creator Club for DJs, and then there's the Twitch Creator Club for musicians. So a lot of us bounce between the pair of them because some of us are like DJs and producers. Some musicians kind of want to get into DJing, so they're kind of like they're pigeonholed into like almost like one on top of the other in the Discord. So like you see a lot of people kind of bumping between the pair of them.
And is there difficult parameters in order to be, getting accepted? Is there difficult parameters to at least apply for it, similarly to getting partly do like 75 views?
No. You have to be a Twitch affiliate. That's like just like a natural thing, because you can't be part of a team unless you're part like affiliate.
Yeah.
So apart from that, yeah, you just kind of fill out the application. I think they're kind of like very welcome to kind of people that are like new DJs that want to cut their teeth, and people that are wanting to learn the craft. Everybody in there is sound enough that if you went in today and you was like, I'm really sorry, I'm a new DJ, can somebody give me some advice and help? We'd all chip in and we'd just be like, yeah, absolutely. What do you need? Like, how do we make this make sense for you? Like,
Fair. And I think, segueing that perfectly, what is the story with your equipment? Because for me, I've got no concept of... I know DJ equipment is very expensive, but I know how much a graphics card is worth. I know how much a good camera is worth. How much is a DJ kit to be fully exposed to streaming?
yeah. So, I mean, you could start on like, I think 150 quid, 200 quid for a DDJ Flex 4. And that is like the very basics of what you'd need. And in reality, I could have one of those and I'd be quite happy with it. I had a Tractor S2 Mark II, and I think I paid about 70 quid for that, 80 quid for that. Loved that, had that for about a year and a half, and then I went on a workshop with Pioneer, and there was two DJs that were teaching it that like play regularly at Berghain, and that's like, whoa, that's kind of cool. And from there I was like, man, I want to get into like Pioneer hardware, so I got a DDJ 800, and I think that was about 600 quid. And like that was cool, and I really enjoyed that, and that was really nice. And then I went and did a project with Reform Radio and the King's Trust and Idris Elba's charity, the Up Hope Foundation, and they had like XZs and RX3s, which is what I've got behind me. I've got an XZ, and that was about $1.5 grand. I've slowly traded up, so like I sold my S2 Mark II for about match price. I think I lost like 50 quid on my DDJ 800. And then I took out like a small loan with the Bank of Mum to kind of like do that, and I paid it off, and I'm quite happy with it. The guy that I bought it off, it was a bit questionable. Basically, I'd seen it on eBay, and I'd reached out to him and says like because you're like the other side of Manchester, will you collect? Can I come and collect? And he's like, yeah, sure. Showed up at his, and he's like, yeah, it's in the boot of my car, and I'm like, great. Can I see it on? Spending a lot of money on this right now. Kind of want to see it on. And I kind of get up to his house, and his door has like footholes and handholds for it, and I'm like, this is a bit interesting. I put it on his kitchen countertop and like uncase it and like set it up, and I look up, and there are samurai swords on the walls. There's like the ninja kind of like the police batons like the American ones have, like those kind of wooden sticks, and I'm just like, okay. Like I go to like I'm like, oh, where's the power cable? And he's like, they have power cables, and like it's like a really weird situation, and like normally these are about like 2.5 grand, and I paid like 1.5 for mine, and I like I went to Tool Station, and I went and got a cable and plugged it in and made sure it all worked, and I just bounced, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like and I've registered it with Pioneer, and it's clearly not flagged as stolen or anything, so it's like, all right.
So you entered Manchester's most illegal dojo and left with a bargain.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
And
a
it's
story.
been mine for like a year now, and I don't really plan on selling it because like Pioneer hasn't, like they bought out the AZ, which is like the newer version of that, but like it's a cool concept, but I prefer that. Like the old stuff sometimes is better. That and like people are like, oh, why didn't get CDJs in your bedroom, Matthew? I don't have space. You've got to realize my room is like 2 meters wide by 3 meters deep. Like, people are like, oh, why didn't you get like a third table and like, start doing like some drum and bass? And it's like, where do I stick it? On my bed? In a bookshelf? Like,
Get a smaller bed. Get rid of the bookshelf.
get a smaller bed. No, I enjoy my bed too much. It's too comfy. It's already 3/4. What am I going to go down to? Like,
But I mean, as you said there, with the equipment being Pioneer, and then you mentioned earlier you studying with Pioneer. How did you make that connection? Because Pioneer are huge.
Yeah, so Pioneer had a program called Start From Scratch. And
Aptly
basically
named.
they were like,
I love
Yeah.
that play on word.
yeah, so they did like a Start From Scratch campaign like about 3 years ago. And they did like a number of pop-up dates. And it's just like a one-night only thing, and it was kind of partnering with kind of DJ teaching kind of academies. And I just did it, signed up for it in Manchester, showed up, had a really nice time. And I was like, man, I really like Pioneer hardware. I should probably get some.
Impressive.
Fair enough.
I like
It's so weird. I'm asking questions, and it cuts so beautifully that I'm like, I don't have time to digest and go next because you just stop. There's no ahs, there's no ums. It's oddly refreshing.
You
Atomic.
gotta remember, I spent a period of time on radio. I'm not
Fair.
gonna like.
Atomic. You have to now DJ. How do you change your set? Because for me, as all of you know, everyone in the chat, God, people who've never watched, I always have beige walls. Now, I've recently bought this house, and I intend to make this my studio. Again, it's all beige. Everywhere you look is beige. How would you, Atomic, now look to change your setup if you were to DJ?
I have a keyboard that has a stand. Like I could put it here. I'd probably be a virtual DJ person and get the virtual DJ app up and just be like, what are we on that? I have loads of records upstairs though, so I could get a turntable. I could actually like probably do the. But then again, I think ink spots with a bit of Roy Orbison would just probably not mix.
Why not?
It'd go well at a 1940s event, probably not a rave.
There's
Well,
no such thing as a bad mix. There's just mixes with texture.
My
Like,
my vinyl collection is just it's very old. Like there's a lot of old ones in there, I mean, the newest album I have is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2 and Sia. They're like the only new albums I have. The rest are very old sort of music.
I mean, I probably shouldn't take them out, right? But I've got a guilty pleasure when it comes to.
I have a few game
things-
vinyls, like, but they don't even get opened because they are.
Well, this is my
Limited
problem.
edition.
So my favorite band on earth decided they'd partner up with
ABBA.
not ABBA. They decided to partner up with again very apt name called Sheet Happens,
Oh,
and they make
it.
musical sheets and vinyls. Now, my partner got me these, and I gotta say, I've never in my life cared for vinyl because I'm a grown man and my money should go on to things like things that belong to Blizzard and World of Warcraft. But there's something about vinyls that are just so mesmerizing.
that is beautiful.
Red.
Oh, look at that.
Textured. Look at that.
So I got the whole
That is
discography of my
gorgeous.
favorite band, and now all I've got to try and find a way to do is how do I get them on this wall? Anyway, that's my segment.
You can get
away from that.
special. You can
yeah.
get special frames that are vinyl frames. I've wanted to do it with my War at Worlds one because I have like the full art book and everything with mine.
But that's the problem I got
That's
with
like one
these.
of the
It's like
prized ones.
these open up into the vinyls and then have like the music sheets on the other sides. And I just
Oh yeah.
I wanted to display it all, but it's too bloody big. Anyway, that's
I want the Beatles White album, but finding that and affording that is another
Yeah.
question.
My dad's got an original Hard Day's Night somewhere in the house,
Oh.
and like if I ever need like a down payment on the house, like
Yes,
There it
you've
is.
got that.
Dad.
I think one of my most expensive is my Cole Porter's Anything Goes. Like it's one of the earliest editions of it. That's a spenny one. That.
Oh, I could talk about vinyls all day. There's just something so mesmerizingly stunning about how and
It's the sound. It's just
Yeah.
so. Oh,
and that crisp.
I
and that
love
punch
it.
as it just starts like
yes. Oh, that's why ink spots. Whenever you hear that, like, dun, 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 and you're like, oh my god, yeah, I'm home.
guys,
I
feel free
literally
to
will put
leave.
my record player on just for that.
I've never tried to DJ on vinyl, and I'm slightly too scared of scratching vinyl in the process of doing it. Like
Yeah, I can imagine.
Serato have like their slip mats that like are just digital ones.
Hmm.
It's like DJing on a blank CD, but like even them. There's a place next to one of the nightclubs that I've played in, like Ashton, that does vinyl open decks, and they've got vinyl you can play on, and it's like I'm too scared to damage it.
Another thing for me that
get
the
that.
Atomic raised there with doing like a virtual DJ set. Now I've got musical friends who, let's say, are a bit hardcore. So I've always wanted to play drums. I feel like I characteristically, as a massive ape, I'd suit playing the drums. But of course, I got a partner and I've got neighbours, and I can't have the audacity of having a full bloody drum kit. So I want to
course you
invest in.
Forget them.
I want to, believe me, I want to. But I can't because I'm in love. I know, stupid. So I want to invest in electric drums. Again, to get the headphones, listen to it. And people are telling me it's just cheating. Similarly to when Atomic mentioned virtual decks, that for me sort of like brought that up. As a musician who produces his own music, do you find there's areas that you get to where you go, you should try a little bit harder?
Yeah. I mean, like I don't produce my own music yet. I'm learning.
That was my curve. That was.
I want to be one of the first to hear this when you do.
When I get my first prints, I'll send them across. No, I think there's an elitism that says if you're not playing on like CDJs, you're not a DJ. But equally, they'll turn around and say, well, if you're not playing on vinyl, you're not a real DJ. I think if you're mixing those two songs together, like you are mixing them, you're a DJ. If you're putting together like playlists of things that you think that really mix together, you're a DJ. I think there's a lot of kind of like elitism with it, and I think learning how to do the physical kind of like wiki and like transitioning, like you should learn how to do this. But equally, like the amount of times where I think, man, it'd be so much easier for me to just put on a Spotify playlist and walk away and like go and socialize, like
And that's what I've been exposed
Yeah, I
to
think
more
there's
than
a fine
anything.
line. What gatekeeping?
Yeah, that's again
it's
the
massive.
level of elitism. And here's an Apple Mac, play. I'll shoot for a pint. which I feel like, again, it does ruin the fun for a lot of things. And I think the elitism that does exist in almost every aspect of things that we do is,
Oh, absolutely.
Christ, especially on Twitch. Do the wiki
You know,
wiki, love that.
You'll have
The
people
thing
being
is, there's an
elitism because you're a
artistry, isn't there?
photographer. Like,
Yeah, anyone can take a picture. It's the artistry that
Yes.
sets it apart. There's no gatekeeping with that. You either have that talent or you don't have that talent.
Yeah.
So to have the ear for music, to understand what would transition well, what would mix well, what track would go with what, knowing the beats, knowing what tune, that is an artistry, and that is where it's like set apart from the gatekeeping and the line, like with that. And I think if you've got the art and the talent, you've got it. And that's my opinion on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
could
you
use
can
any
see
equipment.
James Pipe play on like a Flex 2, and it's like, yeah, it works. I mean, it's like
Nokia
bicycles.
3310. People created all entire songs just using that. That's talent. You know what I mean? It's that sort of level. Just because they used a Nokia 3310 does not take away the talent that they had.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
down with elitism. Just go have fun with it. I think is really important.
That's a shirt, and I'm going to print that. That's mine now. Matt, if you decide to print that, I'll burn your house to the ground. But we'll take a step away from, again, you coming into this world. You knew this was for you. Now, I know you have to be in it to win it. That probably goes with every aspect of life, no matter what it is that you're doing. What has been a key achievement in your eyes, achievement that you've hit, that you've gone, this is something that I can make happen and it can be real? Things that you've done, aspired to, even accidentally fallen into.
There's a couple of them. Like there's been a lot of kind of like, I feel like I'm going in the right direction moments right now. I think one of them was being at TwitchCon, and just people coming up to me like, "Oh, your one is Matt," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I watch your streams," and I'm like, "Ah, that's that's quite meaningful," and I've always felt that TwitchCon generally as an event has been like one of these moments where it feels like a solidification moment. I think Twitch Meetups Manchester this year was very, very special to me. To say that at the start of the year, I joined the Twitch Creator Club for DJs, and by the end of the year, I'm DJing at Twitch events. Like, that's very kind of, it's a very full circle moment, and that was quite special to me. I think, again, another full circle moment, I went from being on a King's Trust course to being asked to go and speak at a King's Trust course earlier this year. That was quite nice. Going meeting the King, and the King, like, me and him just chatting about music. That was, you don't do that every day, and that was quite a special moment. And, like, standing next to and sitting next to Idris Elba. Like, recently there was a photo that was on, like, BBC News the other morning, and it's like, His Royal Highness, Idris Elba, and me. And, when you see yourself as, like, your custom character in an NPC cutscene, that's genuinely how it felt. And it's like, what's your unemployed mate doing on a Tuesday? Like, there he is. Like,
Just
So
chilling
many impressive claim to fame.
yeah,
So many.
and like, like, the whole Glastonbury story is like, yeah, it's another one like that. Like, I got a phone call, and basically, it's King's Trust, and they'd said to me, "Look, Matt, we try our hardest to get you every project we can and every involvement." And I was like, "All right, mint." And they're like, "An opportunity's come up, and it's fallen through. We can either talk about it, or we can move on from it." And I was like, "Oh, well, tell me about it. It's not that deep. It won't be anything too crazy." And like, "So we were trying to line you up for Glastonbury, and it's fallen through." And I was like, and I physically, like, I was in the kitchen, leaning against the kitchen counter, and I physically just sunk. And I was like, "All right, okay." And they explained to me the situation, and it made complete sense. And it was one of those, and we just kind of moved past it. But it was still like man, that would have been wild. Like,
Do you think you're better for knowing, or do you wish you never asked?
It's a Pandora's box, isn't it? Because it's like, it's sick to have known that, like, I was considered for, such a massive festival.
Something massive.
But equally, it's like, I wish I would have never known, because it wouldn't have been like, one of those. But
Another goal added to it. Another goal added to your list.
But it was really funny because, like, when I went to meet His Royal Highness, like, he come up to me and was like, hello, Matthew. Was you at Glastonbury this year? And I was like, well, it unfortunately fell through this year, Your Royal Highness. And he's like, there's always in 2 years' time. I'm sure you'll make it then. And that was quite nice. That was quite like, oh,
There you go,
like,
hey.
even His Royal
That's
Highness
coming
is
from
like,
top.
get my man Matt on it, like, So yeah, there's been like, I think that those are kind of quite special moments, from Creator Club to Twitch event DJing, meeting His Royal Highness and Idris Elba, and almost playing Glastonbury. I think were my like three kind of like big things in the last year, that were quite special to me.
I think for me, listening to Atomic say that's just come from the top, just solidifies the importance of something now. So if Atomic ever comes to me and goes, Ross, this is top, I know to follow it wholeheartedly. Take my card. Just pay what you need to.
It's the running joke of I've met the guy off the front of the £5 note.
I wouldn't have pinned them together. I'm not much. I mean, I don't see much of what they do. I mean, I know the Princess Trust is something. God, when I was a young boy, was something that I attended. But there was like whole classes of us. Nothing individual to what you do. So for me, again, following this on, I feel like when you get to see here, or again, as you said, you almost had Glastonbury. What keeps you from going, damn, it almost was, but it isn't? And what keeps you humble to the fact that, hey, it almost was? What keeps you balanced?
I think it's like, I've got this very kind of relaxed kind of mindset with things. Things either happen or they don't happen. And, if it happens, mint. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. There'll always be another project. There'll always be another opportunity. There'll always be something else. And I think, in the wise words of Eden, if all we've got is time, then we'll be all right. And I feel like I vibe with that mantra a lot.
God, you
Really wise.
You hit my heart in different levels.
It's the long hair. Like, I come out with these real Uncle Iroh kind of like, things. And it's like, yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm gutted to hear that MCR ain't top of that, though. Because you played there and you smashed it.
I said it was like a full circle moment from going from joining the Creator Club to playing at a Twitch event. Like, playing Twitch meetups is like really special. And like, if you're a Twitch meetups organizer and you're watching the stream right now and you think, man, maybe we should get Matt. Yeah, maybe you should. My DMs are open. Reach out to me.
I highly recommend, coming from one of the Twitch powered organizers, I highly recommend get this boy on.
Hey, listen, all of this farmable. It's going online. Don't you worry about that.
I'm praying. My TwitchCon application went in a few weeks back, and like,
I'd love to see you there.
I'm praying that it happens out. I mean, like last year, like a friend of mine, Polymatic, he's a Twitch partner, he's a Twitch DJ, he's a Twitch ambassador, he's a Twitch poster boy, he's a good-looking guy in general. He was DJing, and for some reason or another, he had to provide his own like additional CDJs because he's like a drum and bass guy. So he's playing with like 4 decks. And like walking around and just like, being his little minder and carrying his like CDJs in all the cases, just great fun. Like, to go from like, attending TwitchCon in Paris in 2023 to supporting Matt last year and carrying around his gear to being my own kind of DJ slot like this year would be like it's that really nice progress.
Amazing. But I mean, I think Moonbeard strikes this personally. So obviously you've got all these attributes and accolades. Where do we rank? COTDT, you being here right now with me and Atomic.
You are the first podcast I've ever done. So, that's incredibly special. It's always, the first one's always really important.
So we beat the king, right? We're above the king.
He's going to have my head for that.
It's not treason if it's true.
You don't see me. I'm in the Tower of London's, like.
We get at Stream Seed, right? We come to your first gig at TwitchCon. And we're all there in a circle. And you're going to be there doing your business. And you're going to see me, Atomic. We're going to see Moonbeard. You're going to see Leon. And you're going to watch us in that crowd, right? And as you point out, a single tear will fall down your cheek. And then we'll all embrace the Stream Seed. And then poof, we'll vanish.
Out of the cards. But yeah, I think...
I'm manifesting.
On the topic of that, it's like trinkets and like really small things. Like, Mumsy's well known in the community, and Mumsy's like, a friend of the channel, and she's a really special person. Mumsy gave me like a black cat like keyring, and that is on my pen drives. And whenever I DJ, I always know she's there because like, a little pen drive's there. And a friend of mine made like a friendship bracelet, and like again, like that's on my pen drives, and again that's special. And then just recently, somebody quite special to me, crocheted me a little teacup because I drink my tea. And I love this, and it's really cute, and it's really nice. but it's too fragile, and I'm too scared to put up my pen drives and it get absolutely ruined. So it just sits on my
That's so
desk
cute.
and stares at me when I've not actually got anything productive done in a day. So
Yeah, it's just telling you, go and make a cup of tea.
go make a brew.
You're not done
You're getting-
anything.
you're
Go and
getting
make
stressed out
another
with
brew.
this. Like, you know, go and have a
Treat
brew. go and have a
yourself.
brew.
You've earned this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
Guild on it.
it is incredible to think that you've done so much, and I feel like when when was the first time we'd spoke? I would say 2 years or so ago, we probably first made contact, and we as Stream Seed are attending events, and typically again, this could sound really awful because we do a lot. We don't do an awful lot with Stream Seed. We don't really socialize with people when we go out and do events. Well, I don't. Leon does, because Leon gets the opportunity to talk. Ross does all the chimp monkey work. Because I'm the one who does the work in this place. Let's be fair. So, when do you believe that this is it? I've made it. What's that key crucial moment? I know we've talked about your aspirations about where would be the best place for you to go, but in moderation to where you currently are, where would be an achievable moment where you say, in 2026, this is my step up. 2027 has to get better.
2026. I think TwitchCon would be quite special. I think, you know, that'd be if I got that'd be a real full circle moment. I think if I can finish learning how to make music this year, produce a track, and publish it, and just seeing that DistroKid released, and just seeing people, you know, with Spotify screenshots with like my like single on it or something, I think that would be I've made it. I think that'd be quite special. You know, even if nobody ever kind of like plays it properly, or like, you know, Big plays it, like, just to know that I did that, like, you know, I earned that, like, you know, I think that'd be quite special.
God, it's
You've
just
got
the
something
passion.
physical out in the world.
Yeah, I think it's always about leaving your mark. Like, you know, I'd hate to go through this world in this life without actually doing anything exciting. So, like, you know,
That's
if
why
I
I'm
can leave
writing a
little
book.
bit of shenanigans, do it. Absolutely.
I am.
Good.
I'm already in it.
Do it.
I keep getting writer's block, leaving it writer's block. But I can imagine it's same with music like that.
I think,
Like
you know,
you start creating, then you like go through a lull and then create again.
Oh, I have it. You know, even though I've got DJ decks, that doesn't mean that every day I'm behind them. Like, you know, I'll like, you know, at least 2 or 3 times a week I'll jump behind them, and like, you know, sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to play that day. I just kind of look for my record box and like, you know, because the thing is, like, my PC's here, my record box, like, my decks are there, and they just network linked, so I can just walk over to it and just like start scrolling through songs and just like, you know, start playing with things.
Nice. So
Hot
whatever
damn.
the inspiration hits.
Yeah, I can just like jump up and just like plug them in, and then again, like, all my audio stuff, so like my surround sound speakers are plugged into that, which is plugged into my computer, which is plugged into my headphones, so I can just like turn them on and just like, you know, just start scratching and playing.
Brilliant.
I'm in awe. I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe of it all, you know? Because
Good fun.
it's
Like, you know.
very hard to when you're hearing someone, again, talk about things that they find special, things that they want to develop, and you hear it and you think, oh, okay, that's a great goal to have. But I genuinely believe you, you know? I believe that you've applied for TwitchCon, and it isn't because I'd love the badge.
I'll show you the email if you don't believe me.
No,
like, you know.
not in that respect. But you want TwitchCon because it's something you really want. It's not because I get a free ticket. I get to just go to TwitchCon.
I mean, that'd be
That
nice,
cool.
like, you know.
Yeah, cool. No, I get that. But
It's
it's
125 euros. I don't have to find, like, you know.
but it's cool because it's your full circle moment. That for me, it's nice to hear, because you do get a lot of, again, not elitism in this respect, but more so people want everything and don't want to bring something in to contribute towards that. So for that, for me, that's just more or less refreshing. Just a quick teeter over to the other side here. Atomic, this book. I didn't know you were inclined into writing a book, so give us a little summary.
Well, the one I'm writing, that is a long, actual, full book. It's called Sunset Village, and it's very like Lord of the Rings inspired. So you've like halflings in it, and like a full story that ties in and everything. I also have a collaboration of all like my poems and short stories that I've written over years. I'm quite like talented with writing, like genuinely. Like I don't usually share it often.
I have nothing to contribute to this wonderful like phrase of imagination and curation of just something beautiful. Nothing. All I've got is a congested nose and a dying love for Pringles. And I can't bring anything creative to that. Absolutely not.
Pringles up.
Hey, I will say my only and KFC Moonbeard, please. It's 5-9. My only thing when it comes to being
Yeah,
somewhat
done. What route you wanted the other day? Chinese.
oh, we're not going through that again. Oh, Matt, we played a game. What were we playing? It was a Jackbox game. And my partner was playing with us, and she never usually gets involved. And I'd said quite late, I don't care what you think I can't eat. I'm gonna have a Chinese. And for the next hour, every answer to these questions, which had no relation to Chinese, was give Ross his damn Chinese.
I love that. That's incredible.
And anyway, I ended up having a pot noodle, so she wins. So thanks for bringing that up, Atomic. I'm not distraught over that. And if she's watching, we're going to have words. I forgot what my train of thought was for that. No.
All right.
My only thing...
It just made me laugh so much when it happened.
I'll let Atomic go through emotions here. When I worked for the civil service, they wanted me to do stuff for charity. Now, when I hear my own voice with these headphones on, especially now because I've had my nose surgery, I feel like I'm more nasally than I previously was. But back then, 50 Shades of Grey was all the rage. So I'd said, if I make £500, I'll do an audiobook of 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, we reached £2,500. So I had to read the entirety of 50 Shades of Grey. I spent 7 weeks, all evenings after work, in a booth, reading 50 Shades of Grey. That's probably the only thing I've got to anything creative. And when I heard me say some of those sentences out loud, I felt awful. I felt icky. It's perfectly natural, but it's...
I've read the book as well, so I completely know that.
They're an interesting concept. Like,
Oh, who's that one I like? Who's read it? Who's really funny?
I think
Oh,
Atomic with your accent and with a bit more colloquialism, it'd be quite funny.
Doing what?
Oh, I can do it. I can pull on more Northern if you want as well. I can go
exactly.
more Burnley.
Like real Northern adaptation of it. It's really good that.
Although there is my telephone voice, which freaks everyone out.
I feel the telephone voice. I'm not ready for it. You've said top. I don't want you going normal. I say normal. That sounds really rude.
That feels marvelous.
Yeah, you don't want it. You don't want it.
My dear,
It
spiffing.
scares Chris. I rung him once, because I used to work for a dentist, so I used to do the booking in and getting people in. And I went, "Hello, is that Christopher?" He was like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "It's me," and he's like, "Oh." He couldn't deal with it.
He was cursing
Hiya,
you.
Ross. How are you today?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not right. I enjoy you and your company with the tone and accent you have now. Oh,
It's just my polite voice for professionalism.
one stream, that's what it's got to be. We've all got to imitate the other person.
Oh, I get it all the time anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair. I keep reading KFC. I got a bad Moonbeard. I can't keep reading the last comment and KFC.
Everyone just spamming more, so then the KFC disappears.
Yeah, but it can't be spammed with Chinese. Oh. Right, your TwitchCon
KFC, no
application.
Chinese.
Did you have to provide evidence of your work? Because who was applying for it? Someone was applying for one of the TwitchCon apps, and he was doing a particular thing. And it said, we don't have to provide any source information to what we do. It's just we apply for it, we give them our username, and that's it.
Oh no, there's tons. Let me open up the call for content page right now. They submit your application. This will let me do it again. Yeah, for when is Matt for the DJ section. So yeah, for the DJs, it's are you opted in for the program? Yeah. Is your content appropriate for all ages? Yeah. What genre do you play? The description of your musical performance. And I was like, what? Basically, they're asking me to pick what I'm going to play, roughly, with 4 months' notice. So I kind of had to think about, what would I play if I went and played TwitchCon? And, I put, some stuff together, and then, supporting materials. And they're like, give us some supporting materials, Twitch clips, samples, presentations, or documents. so I made this massive Google Doc, and it was who I am, what I do, what I've played, where I've played, my relationship with Twitch, and kind of like the Twitch Creator Club, playing like Twitch Meetups Manchester, all that stuff. A little bit about the King's Trust, and yeah, I made like this massive kind of like thing to submit, and like I've got a track link on it, so I know if they've opened it or not, and if they don't open it and decline me, I'm gonna be very upset. Like
Ooh, saucy boy,
Like
saucy
a
boy.
CV for DJs.
yeah,
CV,
exactly.
A DJ CV.
Like, well, I mean, I've got like a CV for DJs, and I've got like an EPK, which is like an electronic press kit, and it's like basically a one pager that is like, at a glance, what is Matt? What does Matt do? What is Matt's thing? Where's Matt played? And I've got that, and that's really, really cool, and I quite like that. But this was kind of a little bit more kind of written based, and like a little bit more physical, and like yeah. So there was a bit of work that had to go into it. I'm proud of the work that I put into it, and here's hoping Twitch are like, yeah, he's all right, he seems sound, like I'm probably one of the few DJs on Twitch that come with public liability insurance and steel toe cap boots, like
Public liability insurance is steel toe cap boots.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I
man.
mean, I'll go and build TwitchCon for you if you want. I'll go and jump in with the crew and build it. Like, I'll unload trucks. I don't care.
As long as I get a set at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, sometimes you've got to trade like favors for favors, and like if I turn around and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll unload a van if I get to go and DJ at the end of it. Like,
Do you know how many, I say spots, but how many sets they look to have at any given day? Is it a 3-day event, TwitchCon?
Yeah, 2-day event. So it's really weird. So basically, what they do is they have DJs on the Friday night. So when you're doing badge collection, like at Rotterdam, you can have a DJ there, and you can like go in and actually hear a DJ whilst you're going collecting your badge. So that's cool enough. So they had slots for that, and apparently they had like a big truck outside for that. And then on the day, there's a DJ booth as you go into the Rotterdam Ahoy Convention Centre. There's a DJ booth right down at the end at the Kappa Cabana. And then there's like another DJ booth where people are eating food. So there's like, 3 spots on the show floor that you could do. And like, if everybody had an hour slot, like there's a lot of slots there that you could probably like, offer out to people.
Because I've never, I mean, again, the only time I've ever seen DJs active when it comes to the shows that we've been a part of is Format. That's the only event that we've seen DJs, and obviously they filtered out 2 rooms. Oh God, again, having never been to TwitchCon, I'm just trying to think of in my mind, how do they suit? Is it in Amsterdam again this year?
It's in Rotterdam at the Ahoy.
Is that the same venue as the last one?
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, like, I assume, I hope that's like the same layout this year. Like, it worked last year, so hopefully it kind of, this year. I think very much like the DJs at TwitchCon are there as kind of room tone almost. Like they're there as kind of like a piece, like a display piece. So like, the one next to all the food trucks, like you're sat down eating dinner and listening to music. The ones down at the Kappa Cabana is next to kind of like, the Rotterdam Ahoy is kind of like alcohol and like food area. It'd be like putting one next to the Weatherspoons at the NEC.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to describe it. And the other one is just as you come in. So you've got that initial kind of like hype kind of music as like you're coming into a space. So, and there's like so much foot traffic there because it's like the main way in and out. And again, if you go up to a lecture, you go upstairs and then you come down and you come past that DJ. So like, there's constantly footfall of people walking past.
And with then you already applied to go to TwitchCon as a DJ. If you had to set the rules on a minimalistic standard to at least be considered, what would you look to say? Again, not in an elitist category where you'd say this is the ultimate person who I'd want to set, but just to say we're separating the men from the boys kind of thing. What would be the minimum that you'd like?
Strictly Pioneer hardware. Yeah, because like logistically, if I turned around to you, Ross, and I was saying, I'm gonna set for every camera that you want, and you can bring your Canon cameras, and you can bring your Leicas, and you can bring your like Sony FX9s, and you can bring your red weapons and your black camera, like Blackmagic cinematographies. There's a lot of cables and there's a lot of swapping around and a lot of faff, and it's a real inconvenience. Like if you can work Pioneer, if you can work a Flex 4, which is like the smallest console, you can play on their biggest console. it scales. It's really easy. So I'd say strictly Pioneer. I wouldn't be a nightmare. Like, there's some real people out there that turn around and say, yeah, we're going to put a V10 mixer in front of everybody, and you can either sink or swim. I think that's really where you separate the men from the boys in the DJ scene. But yeah, no, I'd say strictly Pioneer, just for convenience. And if you can't play on CDJs, you can't play.
Will that be convenience to you or convenience for the whole scene?
Convenience for the whole scene in the ecosystem. Like, could you imagine having to rent out, like, a Denon, a Pioneer, some kid wants to bring his, like, M Audio little kind of, like, Squiggle Hercules thing. Like, no, bother to it. It's logistically easier to rent 20 CDJs and, like, 5 mixers. Like,
You'd think that they wouldn't have a hand in an audio brand to not... Would sponsor be the right word? To almost provide for the event.
Yeah, I think, surely there's going to be a local kind of, Rotterdam dry hire company that they can go to and do it. But whether or not that company would want to kind of, pay for sponsorship or kind of offer sponsorship. I mean, a lot of the times you'll see it on a big DJ sets. There are stickers all around, like, a CDJ. Like, where the Pioneer logo is at the front, there'll be a sticker there. On the back of it, there'll be a sticker on, like, the Pioneer logo. Because it will be, like, that's a prime spot. Like, everybody will... If you have an over-the-shoulder shot, you'll see the Pioneer logo. But if you put a branding sticker there, somebody's branding. So, and again, if you've got a front-facing one, rather than seeing the Pioneer sticker on the back of the CDJ, if it's your company's logo, like, market him.
I mean, I wouldn't need advice on how to market. Matt, if you're there, I'm putting a tattoo on your cheek of our seedling. That'd matter to me, my friend.
Hey, if I get to play it, and you want to,
don't
get me a
promise.
Stream Seed shirt, and I will wear it.
I will say this: I don't even have a Stream Seed shirt. Oh well, no, I do like. I don't have a Stream Seed shirt that fits me. So
Get me one, 3XL. I will wear it, and I'll wear it all weekend. In fact, give me a Stream Seed flannel shirt, and I'll wear that. Nice little Stream Seed logo on the back of it. A little bit of branding on the front of it. Like,
how much can a flannel shirt go for? A custom flannel shirt.
Just get the iron print on. Just get and make easy peasy. Can make them myself.
Are you offering to do this topic?
I would.
Right, there we go. So we're going to get you a custom atomic-made Stream Seed flannel T-shirt. But that's definitely a no on the tattoo on the cheek.
I'm making myself one then.
Absolutely. I'd wear that. I mean, I've wore like a FootWiz kind of like, FIFA T-shirt. And I've wore that whilst like, playing DJ sets. Like, there's really nice photos of me playing Our House, Your House in like the basement at Joshua Brooks. And I've got a FootWiz T-shirt on. Like,
Oh, God, I just wish I could fit into
I'll
clothes.
take some branding. Take some free clothes. Like,
I'm just awful. Now, I want to step back into... oh, God, my partner's just going... Ross has a better chance of finding a beach donut ring than a T-shirt.
That's wild.
God. Love's a funny thing, isn't it? Yeah. When we'd first made contact, it was very, very casual. We knew what you had done. We'd first made professional contact when CKA, the Chaos Crown Awards. It wasn't anything before that, was it?
I don't think so. I think that was the first time we were introduced to each other. And
so
I just knew from the start, like, we were going to click. Like, you was good energy, and I'm like, I bet. Like,
oh, well, you've got to speak to some people who know me because they do not say I'm good energy. But to those of you who didn't know, Lady Doll, 2 years ago now?
yeah.
Oh, gosh, she did an award ceremony for those to celebrate everything to do with streaming on a bloody plethora of awards. I would say over 40 awards at least. We had some main categories. I believe there were 6 main categories that had sponsors, and then we had the little trophies alongside that. But again, maybe 30, maybe 40. Matt had joined us on DJing. Were you the... Was it you? It was you and Chili DDJ.
It's me and Chili, and I think I opened and Chili closed.
Yes.
I think that was the strat.
And for StreamSeed, we handled all the production. I spent many hours listening to Lady laugh and give me audio tics to change things, and sweating profusely through almost every shirt that I'd owned because I couldn't leave my desk for the hours that I was there. And yeah, that was the first time we'd openly seen Matt play. I could say in a professional capacity.
Yeah.
Would that be one of the first online DJ sets you've done?
I'd say like publicly, yeah. I think like that Twitch stream was probably like my first kind of like public facing kind of thing. Mm-hmm. For the people that know like 5M, I've been involved in 5M for a couple of years. I used to be heavily involved in the kind of behind the magic curtain kind of scene with production RP. I had like a roleplay character called Mickey Vice, and like he kind of spoke like Devo, and he'd be like, "Hello, mate. What's going on here?"
Nice.
Then? Fucking, this is exciting, isn't it?
I've
gonna
met
get down,
Devo.
like this. That's incredible.
I've
That's
actually met Devil.
That's, he was
Twice.
like a maths teacher. Like, it's
Yeah.
really bizarre. Like what people do after they've kind of like given up on their dreams. But yeah, I did that, and that was like really fun, and that was really good energy. And I think my highlight with that was they had a New Year's Eve celebration event. And with the time zone difference, I got up at 6 a.m. in the morning, jumped on my decks, and started playing for like 2.5 hours. And everyone's like, "Oh, Matt, will you come out and drink with us after? We come and hang out and like, go and do this, that, and the other?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going making soup. I'm going having breakfast. Like,
Making soup.
I'm going making soup, going having breakfast." And then, of course, like one of the people that I knew from that kind of stuff, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm like in the VR chat scene," and like again, like the VR rave scene is incredible. Like some weekends because of there's like an online platform called Timeline, and you can see when events are coming up and like when events are on. You could probably go and put your headset on like Friday afternoon and not take it off until Monday morning. Like there's just events back to back to back to back to back that you could just float in and out, and that's only like the tip of the iceberg. Like those are the public facing ones, and like when you get into the scene, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I can go to this club or that club or the other club," and it's incredible. Like,
Have you ever done it on VR chat?
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I've like DJ'd a lot in VR chat.
I've been to a few raves in VR chat.
I've
I do
touched
quite
grass
like
with VR
them.
chat people. I ended up like in like the summer of 2023. Is it 2023? 2024? I flew out to Ireland to go and meet some of the people, and like my first experience of seeing some of these people in like flesh and bones. Like I walk into this pub that we've all agreed to, and they just look at me and they're like, "Dated?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And like that was like such a great weekend. And then last year, like time is a concept at this point. Yeah, I went to Rotterdam to go and hang out with the Just Party people, and again that was like a great kind of like community of people, and that's like a really interesting concept. Like the whole kind of online kind of thing it's really bizarre because like you got to realize in the UK, nightclubs are dying. They're dying under the cost of kind of real estate. They're either being rented out, noise complaints. It's a real struggle. But in like VR chat and Twitch, like real estate is infinite. You can stand there in your pajamas raving. It's great. Like half the time when I'm playing a DJ set, I'm in a t-shirt and like pajama bottoms or like like pajama leggings, and it's great. There's no entry fee. There's no queue for the toilet. If I want to drink what I want to drink, it's great. And if I get bored at 3 a.m. and I want to go make grilled cheese, go make grilled cheese. Like
You make things about life sound so simple, my friend. It's I just want to be in your brain for 24 hours on a busy day and just see how you go from.
It's a very quiet space.
So I
There's not much going on.
I gotta do a set over here, but there's a little Mackey's over there. But what I'm doing, I gotta pet this dog, and then when I go back to I just feel like it'd be wild to live in your mind
Tell
for a
that
day.
there's ADHD in it, like
I've only got one gripe with you, Matt. Now, this is a very serious gripe that I need you to really take on board. And I feel like it can't just be me, because I think you're the only person I know in this space that has more than one username. Now, I need you, for me, to decide, are you When is Matt, or are you Dated Rhyme?
Dated Rhyme was me from when I got into the online world, and Dated Rhyme actually comes from Xbox 360 days. So when I got an Xbox 360, all my friends were in gaming clans. So like I think there was the NBA XYZ clan, and then there's like Pro Shooters and something else, and like a load of all different clans, and then there's Tiny Clan or something like that. And on Xbox, you only got one name change, and I was like, well, I don't know what to call myself, so I'm going to leave myself as the Xbox default, and I'll figure it out. And Dated Rhyme has always been I'll figure it out username. And it's always just been something I've had and I've used, and I've kind of like followed it along, and it's just kind of always been one of these things. And then when I wanted to get into DJing, I wanted something rememberable, and just something funny. So like, when is Matt? Like, when's Matt playing? When is Matt? And then people like, they meme it out, and they're like, why is Matt? Where is Matt? Who is Matt? Like, and it works really well, and it's really funny. So like, yeah, I'm slowly kind of transferring everything over. So my Instagram's gone over to it. My Reddit's still in my old like handle. I've now got Matt at when is Matt live as an email address. So yeah, eventually I'll move my Twitter over. The only problem is there's a when is Matt on Twitter, and the account's dormant, and the account's not been used in about a number of years. And that's really awkward because in the old days of Twitter, I could have gone to Twitter and said, "Hi, I'm When Is Matt. I'm an artist. I have the When Is Matt domain. I have all of this paperwork to prove that I am the account holder of this. Somebody has this username. I'd really like it." And there's a chance that you could kind of argue for it and like flip flop for it. And these days, you can't really do that because it's run by a lunatic. But I mean, does anybody really rate Twitter as like a mainstream platform anymore? So, I don't know. Like, I could do when is Matt live as like a Twitter handle, maybe.
I mean, that's where we stuck. So there's a person who's called StreamSeed on Twitter who hasn't posted in 7 years. 7 years. Now, they might be still active, but now you're no longer allowed to say, "Hey, I'm StreamSeed."
I want that.
Yeah, so that's why we decided to go StreamSeed GG with all of our socials. So, just for everyone here who understands, because there's going to be a lot of fans coming to TwitchCon, when you get the notice that you're going to be a DJ there, that when we see you go up there, we're going to see When Is Matt. When Is Matt will be the one.
Cool. It is dead. Like, it's just kind of moving over the usernames now. Like,
That's all I need to know, because I've never known a man with two usernames, and it's not a frustration for me. It's just more, I'm not that smart.
Just keep you on your toes.
I don't want to be kept on my toes, brother. I am a lot of mass. I don't want to be standing up. Right, so we're going to quickly go to chat for a couple of things. Ross, great vibes, terrible at DMs. Totally agree. Time well wasted? I was going to say the same thing. MC Devo is actually on tour. He's going to Hull and Middlesbrough this year. I've heard a couple of snippets of Devo, and I would say he sounds to me like a Goldie-looking chain kind of vibe. And Goldie-looking chain live was an absolute trip. I've never taken a drug in my life.
Guns don't kill people. Rappers do.
Live with StreamSeed party when that's what I want. Or come over to my house. It'll just be Goldie-looking chain. It'll be perfect. Nothing wrong with a good soup.
I love Devo.
Only that soup isn't a food. Soup's a drink. And I'll fight anyone who says that. Did you fall through since Devo's life was...
The receipt machine is a good one to circle back to, because that is a very interesting... the little thermal printer.
Oh, we talked about it before stream. I've got we'll highlight that. We'll highlight that. Mr. Slippers, 32 months sub. I feel like you paying into this is that paying into my KFC fund? Because I haven't seen a payout of this channel for a while. I just want to.
I got my first Twitch payout this month. Like since I started streaming.
I'd seen the tweet. How does that make you feel?
Congrats.
Getting your first payout.
I think that's when you're saying about these like what's a pivotal moment for you, that's a pivotal moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's like people have contributed to me like having that small kind of money. If everything works out, I've applied for a grant with like the Musicians Union for like earplugs, like the physical kind of like sticky in ones for like DJing. So if it works out, like they're like 50 quid, and I just put the rest of the money to them. And like I've got like a practical thing from my time on Twitch, like
I think you should change it to Whom is Matt.
Whom is Matt.
Moonbeard doesn't get a lot of things in this chat that he says that I find funny and with substance. I have to ignore Moonbeard quite a lot. But Whom is Matt is something that I rate quite highly, and I think you should change it. I love you, Moonbeard.
Like
I'm surprised I didn't see his face just come up going.
Moonbeard, we don't. Well, I would say we don't swear, but I think we've all sworn at least once this evening.
I've been behaved.
I didn't know what the rule was. I should have asked. Like I'm sorry. Like
We're 18 plus. It's
I think I've been
fine.
quite tame actually. The face appeared.
I hope you choke on your KFC. Listen, that was auto modded. I'll allow it.
That's wild.
I'll allow it. Because I'm a big guy like that. I'm the bigger man. Matt, the label printer. You've got to tell us about this thermal printer. Sorry.
It's thermal printer.
I just feel like I want to try it. I feel like I want to try it. Right? You just.
Well, if you follow me, it will just.
Go on. You keep talking. Entertain the stream while I do this.
So basically, chat. The idea is it's just something a little bit silly. It's something a bit like nonsensical. I've always wanted one because I think it'd be funny. See?
It worked. That's amazing.
It works. Like it's great. So
Everyone has to follow Matt now and just set the
just
thermal printer off.
spam it out, like, you know. I left it on when I went to TwitchCon, and it was rolled over the floor, like, you know, like down to the floor, like in a spool of itself. And I was like, all right, this is great because, like, you know, I've gained some new friends, but like equally, it's like, oh man. But yeah, it was basically where I used to work in a bar. They were like, oh, we're going on to like new stuff, and we've got these old thermal printers and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'd quite like that. I'll find something to do with it. It'd be funny. So I got it, and there's like a community of people online that have kind of like, you know, developed some stuff. See, there it goes again. It's great.
Amazing.
And
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's a really, really fun thing. I've kind of contributed some of my own code to get it to work, and I'm really happy with where it is at the moment. So it's just StreamerBot with like a thermal printer plugged into it, and it just like, you know, zips. It's good fun.
I'm hypnotized.
It's so good.
Can you just show us what's on there? Is there anything like
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me.
oh shuffling your Harry Potter wardrobe space room?
Yeah. So yeah, if I fold it from there, and then just like tear it off. So it'll say new follower, and who it is, and thank you for following, and the date and time.
That is amazing.
I would on knowing being big enough, I would just cover my whole wall in these stickers.
Oh, I wish I could. I've got them all like rolled up, and eventually I will do something like that. But yeah, it just kind of, you know, I don't clear it out very often, and it just kind of goes on and on and on and on. It's great fun. Like, you know, if you want some of like ADHD just to keep your mind kind of like ticking over, like, big enjoyer of it.
A fair one on myself, I'm not gonna lie.
I know, so badly.
I got in trouble with the Twitch Reddit over it because I didn't read the rules of the Twitch Reddit, and basically it says that you're not allowed to advertise on the Reddit. And I'd taken a picture of it, and it wasn't even my username. It was somebody else's username, and they got mad at me for it. So I got like 700 upvotes, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is really cool." And there was like a couple kind of like, you know, very silly people that were like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to write a script to unfollow you and follow you and just like spam it out." And I'm thinking, you're a
nice person.
Yeah. So there was that, but like, you know, I've not had any of those weird situations yet that have kind of like ruined it for anybody. But I mean, at this point, printer paper is so cheap that if somebody did that to me, like, somebody said to me the one day, is like, what is your kind of like bot evasion situation? And I'm like, it's called a switch. I just like turn it off. Like, you know. And then when they pack it in, I just turn it back on, and like, you know, it's not that deep. It's not the end of the world. Like,
It's not that deep.
Nothing is that deep. Like, you know,
No, you're true.
Earlier, like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, somebody raids me out. Like, oh no, I lose like half a roll of thermal printer. It'd be a funny tweet. Like, you know.
It would be a funny. I'm mesmerized to see this thing just keep ticking over, and I don't know what it is. I feel like I want to do that too, and I've never been in. No, I couldn't. I'm not that smart. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't run a script just to say just keep following.
I'll give you an hand. Be right. I mean, look, we were joking about this earlier, but like, you know, if you want me to bring it to an event, we'll just like have it set up on like another Twitch account, and people can just like have their little kind of like rip out, and I think that'd be quite fun.
I will say this. If there is any opportunity that we're going to an event and thermal printing is going to be a part of that session, believe me, you're the first person I contact.
I think there's a really cool art installation by Imbue, who's like a Birmingham artist. And basically, like, you know, they were saying that Brexit is burning so much money, like, per minute. And he just had a printout, and every minute it'd be like how much money is being burnt because of Brexit. And that was quite a cool one. So
that's a lot of printer paper.
Like, yeah, but like, you know, again, he had it tied to a shredder. So like, after like, you know, every couple hours, it just turn it on and just shred them all. And it's like,
oh
know,
my
nothing
god,
like, you know, as an art installation, like he's a pretty cool guy for that.
You know what? But
that
I'd say
brilliant.
we'll look to close this off. Now, we're in the middle of doing a little game show. Myself, Atomic's involved, as well as Ginger Viking and M. We're all involved in doing a little game show. We're going to do a lot more recordings. All this content will be coming out very, 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 very soon. Now, I'm going to get you guys also involved because I feel like this would be a tremendous piece of insight for me to get from you guys. So, the game show goes like this. It's 1 million subs, but in which you will take 1 million subs to your account on the bravado that you accept what it is that I'm looking to give to you today. Okay? So, my scenario would be, and this is also to you, chat, so feel free to get involved. You will receive 1 million subs to your account. But thermal printer will be attached to each of your shoes, and each step that you take, it will print off a single sticker for each step. Do you take the money?
Are these shoes for life or just like, for a
No,
period of time?
a normal amount of paper will go in. It'll be for a normal amount of your day. Again, the shoes don't, they'll obviously wear down. The printer will be indestructible, obviously, if you jump off a thing. The idea is you step, a single printout, a single printout, a single printout.
Yeah.
Before
I
it gets
think it'd be
annoying.
hilarious.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I wouldn't find that annoying. I find that really funny. I just start running and just see these reams of paper floating behind me. It'd be hilarious. Like, yeah, absolutely. Go on then.
so you take the million
You know.
subs.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to do 21,000 steps when working on Insomnia. Could you imagine the streams of paper I could run around with behind me?
Okay, no, that's fair enough. I'd attach a box to my boxes to my ankles. I think Mr. Slippers is going to take the million subs, I think. Atomic, do you take the million subs to have single printed stickers from individual thermal printers up below your shoes?
Yes.
I think it's fun. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It'd be really fun, that. I already want a thermal printer now. I'm going to be talking to Matt about this coding. I want people to
Mate,
send cats. I don't want the followers. I just want to send people send cat pictures to my thermal printer. That's what I want.
I feel like every time you play that Colour Cat game that you play, every time you find the cat and you colour it in, print. And it's of that cat.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
You could get like 200 cat photos, and just anytime somebody subscribes, it prints out a cat, and you'd sit there and colour in their cat. Like, that'd be easy.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, Matt, we're going to be talking. We got ideas.
Absolutely.
Because these
Like,
origami cats are not working out.
Yep.
Right.
We're not talking about that.
No, we can't talk about that now. This is another topic. It's not a part of what we were talking about today. Chat, do you take the million subs for having each individual shoe having a thermal printer? Each step you take, you get a print off. I feel like a majority of people would. Hilarious. However, that would get tricky. At work, welding and leaving paper with every step sounds like a fire risk, but you've got a million subs. I don't know how else you do it. Games Guru,
I mean,
Quack,
what's a
you sound
million
different.
subs? Like 500k? Like...
I'd be a fire hazard for $500,000. I don't have a cold.
Yeah.
I've had no surgery and I'm recovering, so I do sound like I'm heavily congested. Oh, I'd still take it. Oh, everyone's going to take it. Everyone's going to take it.
Absolutely.
But this will be your final time, guys. If you do want to get involved with getting some more questions on the board, please let us know now. We've been talking about Matt's journey into the musical sphere and his journey on currently where he is and the dream of getting to TwitchCon. Do you know when you're going to be hearing about that? Do they have a close date?
Yeah. I think it's like March time. And win or lose, I will still talk about it publicly, and I'll say like, yeah, Mission Fail lads, we'll get them next time, or like, great success, I mean, who knows? If you're looking for a podcast, like, person after TwitchCon, you could sit down afterwards and be like, so Matt, how was that? Like,
I think, do you know what? I think it only makes it easier for me to celebrate success of those who I like. If you do end up getting this, for me, it'd be only worth going to TwitchCon to have that celebratory moment with you. Because I think going to TwitchCon for no reason, for me, it's like, okay, I'm here. But when you have those moments where you go, I'm glad and proud to see how this has gone. It's even wonderful, just a wonderful thing. So we'll close off on a final few things. So Games Guru, for you, Matt, the highlight of your last 10 years, Matt.
10 years is a very long time. 10 years. Leaving high school. That was getting away from all of that. That was, I've got to say it's probably either up there with like a one pivotal point would have to be either meeting the King, meeting Paul McCartney, or Idris Elba. Like, those are all kind of quite kind of special kind of like moments. Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
I can't give one. Those.
You've already caused treason by saying that doing this COTDT episode was better than meeting the King. So believe me, I'm clipping that when this ends. You have no idea.
Like, you know Dark Room, right? As in John Robinson, as in you wake in a dark room. What do you do? Yeah, I met him the same day that I met the King. It was like super bizarre. Like, we came out of St. James's Palace and we were walking down to the tube station and John Robinson's there and I'm like, John, And he's like, hello? And I'm like, hello, mate. And like, it's proper mad. He's like, oh, what are you doing down here? And I'm just like, I've just met the king. And he's like, what's the next one? And I'm like, I whip out. So I've got my name card from when I went there with like on the table, and I whip it out, and it's got like, the royal monogram on the top of it. And he's like, you have? I'm like, yeah.
I'm off to Mackey's.
And just as the lift closed, I was like, it's been a great day. Jim Robinson and the king.
What a great... your aura. God damn. Right. We'll do the last one for you. Oh, sorry, we'll do the two here. What's your favourite record / song that you would play at a gig?
That's hard.
Give us a handful. Give us a few. Go
on. Kyle Watson, The After Hours, is absolutely banging. Really nice, kind of funny track. Playa Paradisa is an absolute banger. I got like a remix through In-Flight recently of Inception, like Time, and that's been quite special. If I had to say like one song, I could do slaps. One song, I'd say like Glue by Bicep. Just like that. Like, it's kind of quite special. I think that's like the last song they played at the Printworks before they shut it down, and like, yeah. I think, yeah, Glue, Bicep.
Fair enough. Easy. And because we haven't done a lot of live COTDTs, and effectively we should be doing it, we have the equipment to do so, we have the manpower and means. If it all goes well, will you be honouring us with From OBS to Open Decks Volume 2 TwitchCon Edition?
Yeah, absolutely. From Twitch streaming to TwitchCon.
That's a good
around
one.
the world in 80 OBS sessions.
Oh, I got to start making moves on making this documentary happen now. Start doing some of the voiceovers.
I'd love it. Like, I want, like, there's that running joke of like, that'd be funny for the documentary one day. Like,
Listen, I've made documentaries, and I don't want to blow smoke up my own orifice, but I did a pretty good damn job at doing this documentary. I did a TEDx talk, Northern Quarter. I did a whole spiel documentary for it, and I think it turned out really, really well. Had a lot of views. Atomic, is there any final words you'd like to put out before we close today's doors?
Documentary, nice.
No, I think Matt has covered pretty much everything that we need to cover. Or do you mean for myself?
Anything. The last thing I want to do is just close it with a wave, and then everyone be like, "Oh, do you know what? I wanted to mention how many pieces of chicken in a KFC bucket he could eat before he vomits."
You should definitely check Matt out. You should check his music out. So, when do you regularly stream, Matt?
I normally stream Mondays and Fridays, and my goal is to do that very, very consistent this year. Occasionally, if there's like a raid train, I'll jump on that, and like there's due notice. I want to start being a little more consistent this year. That was one of my goals for this year. Is like, I think I like got my stream stats, and I streamed like 37 times last year, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's like almost once a week, but it'd be nice to double that this year. So yeah, partner does not get itself from not going live. So and I think there's a really interesting analogy, and I spoke to a friend about this recently. Streaming is like going for a run. You don't want to put your shoes on. You don't want to go out there. You don't want to deal with it. But you go out there, you put your music on, you go and do it, and you see some people that you like, you see some people that you know, and you feel a lot better for doing it when you come back and you finish. So, yeah, you should go live more often.
I should take those words to heart as well. I should be going live more often, but I love Pringles.
Yeah, of course. It's so easy just to be like, nah, I'm tired. I'm going to roll over and go and have a nap. Like, I feel it. Like, I'm there. I'm bad for that. But, like, sometimes, you just got to kind of push yourself. Like, just go and go for a...
It's been my mantra this year, like, so far. I thought, right, put schedules out. I'm not... even if it's a minor inconvenience, just going for it. And, yeah, I've done it so far. And you know what? I was like, I'll just do a couple of hours because I feel like rotten today. I went for over 7 hours playing a game that I didn't know I would love so much. So you never know what happens.
In it to win it. But chat, this is where it ends. We end our COTDT episode here, from OBS to Open Decks, with When is Matt? Not dated rhyme, not Matt. When is Matt? Both of you, thank you so much for your time in being involved with this. I know It's only an hour or so every 2 weeks, but it still is very much time that I really appreciate you guys giving to us. And then you're going to see this VOD open up in full onto our YouTube. That'll be uploaded tomorrow morning, so you can catch up all of the stream in full. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, it's been really sad that you haven't been here to enjoy this, because I know you love watching this live.
And especially somebody who's been so special in my journey, and she's always been like, come on, Matt, gotta go live. Come on, Matt, you should do this. Come on, Matt, you should do that. And she's been like a real kind of like driving force. Like, I think in the world we need more people like Lady Doll. We need more kind of pokey stick people. Just be like, you know, come on, get your act
Pokey
together.
stick people. I'll cut that part out.
Pokey stick people.
She doesn't need to be told that she's a pokey stick person. Oh,
Cheerleaders, if you
too much
want to put
power.
it nicely.
Yeah, pokey stick people. Like, you know, people that hold you accountable. I think we all need somebody that holds us accountable.
yeah.
And we all need. I call her my DJ Agony Amp, but I've got a friend called Electric Emma. And again, whenever, like, if I've had a shit gig, I just text her. I'm like, oh, mate, like, you know, story time for today. Like, you know, and just, we all need that friend. We all need that mentor. So, yeah, if you're struggling with streaming, go and find your mentor. Go and find a creator that you look up to and just, like, you know, be friends with them. Ask them how they do it. Ask them how they deal with the bad days. You know, I think, generationally, you've seen it with everybody. So C.S. Lewis and our Tolkien, they were going to the pub and having a pint and going chatting with the boys about, like, what should we write this week. Scott Fitzgerald went out to Paris and joined the lost generation of writers. People said that Van Gogh was like a Mad Garney zone. His brother was an art dealer. And it's find your group, find your collective, find your people. And from there, you can do so much more. Like, you know, you all hold yourself accountable to be higher.
Damn. You know what? I just feel like I just want to run a 24/7 session of you
I can
every
sit
5
here with,
minutes.
like, Uncle
just
Iroh all night, all these like proper mad kind of thoughts. Like,
write
you know,
it. You know what? Put it in a book, and then every single start of my stream, and I'll go from the page of When is Matt, and I'll go page 1.
I can. There are already too many good books. Like, I read 3 a.m. Sessions by Zimmerman, and like, man, that made me cry a couple times. There's a DJ called Elijah, and Elijah's got the Yellow Book. And it's put down the phone, make the ting now, and I have that as my wallpaper on my computer, and it's just basically document your ting, and that is literally my wallpaper, because it's like, you know, just go out there, gotta do stuff, like, you know, there's gonna be nothing for the documentary in 20 years time if you've not done anything exciting, like, you know.
We've got
You
a
got me with Mike Tyson's horse.
Matt,
That's
after
one of
this,
my
stay
screensavers.
along. We're going to send you a picture. But we've got to leave it here because we could do this all day. And I feel like I'm just going to get lost in this. Oh, Atomic, where can the lovely people find you? Tell us.
You can find me on X, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Discord,
The whole-
everywhere, basically. But you can find me on Twitch mostly. Atomic Moonchild. You see my name in thing. And I now stream either Thursday or a Saturday one week or a Friday or a Sunday the other week. I play horror games, indie games, puzzle games, multiplayer games, and I do a lot of charity work.
Matt, we've already got a little bit about you, knowing what it is you've got coming up, and again, the dream of TwitchCon. But where can we find you? When does this all creative journey start for you this year?
Hiya, I'm Matt. I'm a DJ, tea drinker, part-time funny email writer, as my email signature suggests. You can find me at WhenIsMatt on Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, YouTube, on your fridge. I'm on Twitter as Dated Rhyme. That's probably going to change by the time, like, you know, you watch this in 5 years' time, if it's like still live and I've not been, like, you know, done something stupid. You know.
Amazing. I'm Ross TSU. Find me nowhere because I don't intend to be important enough to be here for the long run. I'm just a voice in a chair. That's all I am. I'm going to be a wisp in an imagination, but I know my mark on life will be I interviewed Matt, and he's currently fighting Calvin Harris on stage at Glastonbury right now. I'm clipping that.
With a giant
my
inflatable
CDJ.
dinosaur.
Clip it, Chad, clip it. Oh,
Example, on one of his tours, on his like tour rider, he wanted Star Wars cardboard cutouts, and they were just all around his gaff for a while, like, you know.
you know too much random stuff. We're gonna leave it here.
I do. Look. There is like a fountain of knowledge. I'm a bucket of pointless facts.
Well, we'll put that pointlessly into a lovely wave. You're gonna look down the barrel of your camera, give a lovely wave to the audience. This will go on X eventually, and then it'll be, thank you so much for the stream. Guys, everyone in the chat, thank you for coming along and giving your questions. Keep poking, keep smiling, keep waving. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going now. Bye!